In the end, what is it that moves your subject to talk or not talk? It's the gain versus pain. Tip number 55, 101 tips. Let's find out. Hey, welcome back to tip number 55 of 101 tips for interviewing and interrogation. I'm your host, Stan Walters. We're talking about this time, what is it, the motivation that is the tipping point where your subject decides to talk or not to talk to you, at least in the end, to close out the case? Well, it has to do with their perception in the end of the gain versus pain equilibrium. So they're looking at, in the end, will I get something to gain out of this, or is there pain at the end of this? So now you can see as the interviewer that you can play both sides of this and you can play them wrong. Okay? First of all, remember the interview is not about you, it's about your subject. Subject being the victim, witness, suspect, etc. So they're thinking, okay, when I talk to this person, when it's all done, if I take this action, if I make this move to talk to them, in the end, what will I get out of it? So if it's gain, does the gain outweigh the pain? So maybe right now they're thinking, it's better, more gain for me to not talk, not to cooperate. And so they think that's the value of what they're getting. The interviewer's job is to ethically persuade the subject that in fact they've overlooked some pain. So that in fact a pain response is going to outweigh what they think is their gain by not cooperating. And then the reverse is also true. If they think there's a lot of pain to talk to you, that they're going to have a lot of punishment or a lot of negative actions going to happen to them, then why should I talk to you? So you should ask yourself as the interviewer, are you highlighting all the pain that's involved? You know, all the punishment, all the negative publicity, all their friends abandoning them, maybe the victim or the witness, if they don't talk, you know, then everybody's going to talk negatively to them or start rumors about them, so you've highlighted the pain. That's like the car dealer or somebody buying the house reminding you of the total package. How much will the bill be? How much you're going to have to pay? But instead, they talk more proactively about what you have to gain by making an investment and gaining ground, making control. And so control is an important thing for the subject. This decision to talk needs to be theirs. You lead them to that point and persuade them that it is at their best interest to do so. They'll do so based on that gain versus pain outcome. For example, if you have a teenager who's decided they want to move out of the house, you know, all parents deal with this, but if you remind them, you know, here's what your money is, here's the things you think you're going to gain, but you remind them, look, you forgot about the water bill, the electric bill, the food bill, about the cable bill, about paying for rent and electricity, and they realize, wait a minute, I miscalculated. There is a lot to gain for me to stay with mom and dad. Now, you may not be able to totally eliminate all the pain, but the subject, if they feel they have control, can they mitigate the pain they may have to suffer? There may have to be some, but instead of having X amount, they're going to have 1/4 of the amount by taking command of the situation. They may not gain everything they want, but gaining something is better than surrendering it all. So put yourself in the subject's position, through their mind, through their eyes, through their perception. What would I have to gain by cooperating and talking to the interviewer, and the interviewer can bring that forward? If they have a lot to lose or the pain, you can remind them that there is more pain or more problems if they don't cooperate. They can lessen the pain or they have something to gain. It is that tipping point that they decide what's in their best interest. And I, as the interviewer, lead them to that point and give them that evaluation of here's this side and here's this outcome. Which one of the outcomes is the one that will move the subject? And by listening to them, you can figure out which one is the one that will move them. So think about the gain versus pain output. Look at some more of our past training programs here. Hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get all the lessons so far and the future ones that are coming up. Be sure to listen into those. Love to connect with you Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, so we can advise you of upcoming classes. And I'd like to know if you're open to a conversation about having training programs for your personnel, for your agency, for your association, for your company. Drop me a note and let's talk about that. Talk about how we can discuss with your interviewers, your investigators, your regulars, and your compliance officers how to establish that gain versus pain format. Be sure to check the website for upcoming training programs, other resources we got, pocket guide, textbook, and more resources for you. You've got to keep studying, have to keep working. See you again soon for tip number 56. This is Stan Walters. Be safe.